Jurassic Park movies. Welcome, guys, once again to the channel Ranking with Dinosaurs, where we rank, you guessed it, dinosaurs. And today we are tackling a very important, I would say, a landmark in paleontology, not only paleomedia, but paleontology itself, since, a lot of people did get inspired to pursue paleontology as a actual career from this movie. I wouldn't be surprised. Um, I think most of us paleo nerds do have familiarity with the Jurassic Park franchise. I'm gonna be talking specifically about the movies. Um, that being said, I think we're all done with the intro. There's gonna be some. Well, I don't know how many hot takes you can have in the Jurassic Park movies, but we'll see when we get to the movie. So we're gonna be starting with Jurassic Park. So I think it's fitting that we started with the first movie, Jurassic Park, and I have to say, it does not get better than this. This is the pinnacle of the Jurassic franchise. You got memorable characters, memorable lines, memorable moments, and every single character is um like different from each other. The interactions between them are believable and like very funny and very heartfelt as well. Even characters that you might think would be kind of annoying, like the kids, they actually do get development, and by the end of the movie you love them. You don't want them to die, as in other movies. But yes, the actual dinosaurs, again, major highlight of the movie. It does something that's the franchise forgets down the line, and that is treating the dinosaurs like actual animals and not movie monsters. Which I get it if you want to, dramatize a lot of the action scenes and all of that. But as you could see, and this movie proves, is that you can have just dinosaurs acting like animals and still be riveting and thrilling to watch. Like the kitchen scene with the raptors is just one of the best, like horror and like thrilling scenes that you could ever see in a film. It's masterfully done, and the actual dinosaurs didn't go like just laughing out around or taunting the kids. This was just regular animals hunting. So I do love that about this movie. The premise is cool. It's unique for that time, and yeah, I mean, what else can I say? This really live let the bar high. It was set high for the rest of the franchise, which unfortunately did not live up to this movie. So, I mean, where else is gonna be if not S tier? The Lost World. So you're gonna be moving on to the second movie, which came out in 1997, if I remember correctly, and this is one of the most divisive movies I would say in the franchise is this one right here. Um, Down to the actual the actual plot, it starts a little janky. I get the part of the guy trying to save his girlfriend, and not trying to, well, I'm saying the guy, Ian Malcolm, trying to save his ex-girlfriend, or is it girlfriend? I can't remember exactly right now. But that's it's a good start to the movie, but a lot of things with the kid and what the what later gets revealed in the movie is that they sent another team to get some dinosaurs back to the mainland. And that gets a little convoluted. Like by the end of the movie, it's not about even saving the girl. It's about stopping in this evil organization, which I'm fine with because it's still a lot of fun. Like the actual journey, very fun. Riveting too. Again, Ian Malcolm does get a little bit, like not dumbed down, but gets more in a we get to see him in a more serious note, which is not bad, but it's definitely not the reason why we loved him so much in the first movie. The rest of the characters are cool. Again, I like them. They're likable. You do want them to survive, except the other team, the other guys that want to take all the dinosaurs. You don't care about them. You just want them to die one by one. Again, the dinosaurs are treated with actual respect, and they do behave like actual animals. Like the T-Rex scene at the end, where it's released and he escapes into neighborhoods and the actual city. Pretty awesome. That's what the current Jurassic World kind of wanted, we would have wanted it to do, which is dinosaurs in the mainland, but they got scared of that. It's not as good as this. So The Lost World, I like it a lot. I have to say, it's not as good as Jurassic Park, obviously, because the nuance and some of the character decisions are not the best. But the rest is a top tier a Jurassic franchise. So I'm gonna put it in A tier. Jurassic Park 3. We're gonna be moving on to the third installment, which name implies Jurassic Park 3, which kind of made me mad that it doesn't have like a cool subtitle like the other movies. Well, except the first one, but the first one is the first one, so you gotta know it as Jurassic Park. But this one doesn't have a subtitle. It's just JP3. But again, this is a divisive movie. I want to say it's more like divisive in a, but more towards geared toward more sort of a negative way. Negative camp definitely does not like this movie that much. But it's the people that actually defend this movie, they do it fervently. Again, we have a set of characters much smaller than previous movies, I would say. Well, I would say the first one. No, yeah, I would say even the first one. Yeah, definitely. They're much more isolated, but I have to say the chemistry is not really there for a lot of the cast. Like, obviously, Alan Grant is like the GOAT of this franchise, so he does stand out for most of the part during the movie. But the rest of the characters are kind of hard to get into. It's kind of hard to root for them. Like if they die, you wouldn't be crying or just yelling at the TV like, no, they didn't do that. You'll be like, oh shit, I guess they died. But again, I think the strongest part of this movie actually is the setting, which is the abandoned island, with the abandoned laboratories and all of that. Gives it this horror aesthetic, I would say. It doesn't go quite as much into horror as I would have liked to, but it does dabble into it, which is something that the previous two Jurassic Park movies did really well. I forgot to mention that. But in this one, I have to say, the main antagonist, the Spinosaurus, is probably, well, it is my favorite antagonist of the Jurassic franchise. He is the GOAT. He has the most aura. The later Jurassic World films wish they would have an antagonist with this much aura. Like, this Spinosaurus is fueled by pure rage. And I have to say, I know I said before that, I like realism in dinosaurs, but if you're gonna go a little bit cheesy and, have a villain dinosaur, I think this is the way to go, bro. Like, he not only kills a T-Rex, he goes on I feel like he follows this group of people around. And, by the end, it is kind of anticlimactic how they, kind of get rid of him. But the actual scene is, I don't know, kind of cool. It's like a nighttime as well, with all the fire. So I think that's a plus, and the raptors too are a plus. These are the best looking raptors in the franchise, definitely, and I love their behaviors as well. So Jurassic Park 3, it's gonna be controversial, whatever I say about it. I love this movie. I actually grew up with it and loving it, so I'm gonna put it in A tier as well. I might put it above. No, nah. I think it's the same level as The Lost World. Jurassic World. We're gonna get into some dicey territory because we enter the Jurassic World era. There's no more park. It's just the world. Although in this movie, we don't see the world actually. It's just in the park, a new park, honestly, in the future, where I think one of the main faults of the franchise from this point on is that they forgot what makes the actual movies good, or what drives the movies, or what people remembers most about the movies, and is that the characters need to be compelling. And that is something that this movie does not have. It does not have compelling characters or likable characters. First and foremost, likable characters, because if any of these guys or gals ever died in the movie, would you be upset? And that is something that you have to ask about all the movies. And then when you get your answer in your head, then you're gonna see, oh well, these characters were actual. I didn't care about them. I think that's like the biggest fault with the Jurassic World series. I know this franchise gets a lot of the dinosaurs are not accurate, which I think this franchise is not trying to do, and they're trying to stick to as much accuracy as possible, but it's not like their utmost. It's not their first priority to make the most scientifically informed and accurate dinosaurs, but they do their best, which I can get behind some of the designs in this franchise, but in like the actual character choices made in these movies are, bro, it's not it. It's just not it. Speaking of the dinosaurs, I actually don't mind the raptors. I think they're kind of cool. The way they're used is kind of stupid and dumb. Like the fact that they're trying to use them for military purposes. Like, bro, come on, bro. That's so dumb. Like, that's so dumb. I cannot even begin to tell you why that's stupid. But and then there's the Indominus Rex, the elephant in the room, and I have to say I didn't mind it that much. At least the first time that I watched this movie. Later times I'm like, I don't know if I like it that much. As a concept is, pretty interesting. I kind of like it for a standalone movie. I like it. But what we see later used in the franchise is what just drives it over the edge, and I'm like, I don't like this. And all the mutant dinosaurs is like, bro, come on, you're limiting yourself to mutant dinosaurs when dinosaurs are already fantastical creatures. But honestly, Jurassic World is not that terrible. Some of the action sequences are cool. The villain is freaking dumb, stupid. I don't even remember what he was called. I know it's Vincent D'Onofrio, but that's because I loved Vincent D'Onofrio. But in the end, it's unremarkable. It's like it's like a C tier, honestly. Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom. We are going deeper and deeper into this absolute mess of what this franchise has become by this point, and that is Fallen Kingdom. Now, I do not understand the decisions in this movie. The main plots of this movie are so goddamn convoluted. Make absolutely no sense. And the actual, dinosaurs are like a second thought. Like, I don't remember aside from the what we'll discuss a little later. Aside from that particular animal, I do not remember any standout scenes from dinosaurs, actually. Like, any action scenes, like, in my head of this movie are, like, concentrated, or, it's just the end part of this movie. That's where my mind, when I think of this movie, that's where it is. It's that end part with the Indoraptor. Now, the Indoraptor is a cool concept. Again, it's just the Indominus, but small. And I guess smarter, because gotta make it smarter too. But I don't know. I don't understand some of the decisions with this franchise. I guess it makes sense to keep going with the actual narrative if having hybrid dinosaurs. But honestly, it was not a great idea from the beginning, and the fact that they keep using it just it's going deeper into the ground. It just makes it much worse. And we see with the next movie that they try to fix that. But as for this one, this is just a mess. This suffers from the same problems as Jurassic World, but worse, where the characters are like, whatever. You don't care about any single one of these guys. Like, they could have all died at the end, and I would be like, oh, sorry. And I would have been totally, unfazed by it, which is not good. It's just not good for your movie. I don't know. I think Jurassic World was mediocre. Fallen Kingdom is like worse than that. So by that account, I'm gonna put it even lower than Jurassic World, into D tier. Jurassic World Dominion. And we're with the last of this Jurassic World trilogy, or at least with these characters, which, I mean, by this point you'd be like, yay, at least they're gonna try to, do something cool with them. No, they're the same, just pieces of, porridge of, they, no actual, like, character or any great motivation for any of them. And I think they did one of the worst things that you could do. And it's try to nostalgia bait with, old characters with no actual substance to them. Like the returning main cast is like badly used. Again, I think it was just a cash in. I mean, maybe not a cash in for them, because I do believe they have actual passion and love for the franchise, but the actual creators behind the decision are not. So they fall flat. That's why. Again, the main plot of the movie, again, convoluted. We got some weird locust plot where, bro, I can't even remember what this movie's about. Turning around from the plot because it's not existent and it's dumb, whatever that is that the actual dinosaurs are, again, a little bit more on the forefront. I will say that they get a little more to do. The Therizinosaurus is an interesting and welcome addition to the franchise. I like it. The Giga, on the other hand, is, I would say, a less cooler version of JP3's Spinosaurus, and it's because the Spinosaurus does actually antagonize our protagonist. For what reason, I don't know, but it has a vendetta against this guy. Maybe because they flew a plane through its against his sail. But for this Giga, I'm like, bro, why are you so mad, bro? I know like there's a freaking prologue where they're in the past and all that, and I'm like, bro, I don't care about this. It was actually one of the cooler things in the film. I like to see different dinosaurs that we haven't seen before. But for the intentions of this movie, this Giga is just worse Spinosaurus from JP3. Doesn't have the same amount of I would say imposing presence as a JP3 Spino. I think that's what they were going with, because at the end, he's like the big bad guy, and the good guys, or the good guys, I mean the T-Rex and the Theory, actually work together to defeat him, like in a superhero movie. Yes, Dominion. It's not good. I think it's at the same level as Fallen Kingdom, honestly. Jurassic World Rebirth. Now, come at the end of the tier list, and with the end of the tier list, we come to the latest movie that came out this year, and not too long ago, actually. And I have some mixed thoughts about this. So, is it a return to form for the Jurassic franchise? Definitely not. Is the movie ass like the previous 3 movies? No. There are some redeeming qualities about this. So, first of all, they did listen, and well, I don't know if they listened to the actual listener to us, but actual competent writers of actual characters, because I think the 3 main characters are the best written they have been in a long time for Jurassic, at least for Jurassic Park, Jurassic World standards. They're much better than any character that graced those movies. The actual, Scarlett Johansson, I can't remember their names right now. Mahershala Ali's character and the other guy, the nerdy guy. I think they're good. They're fine. They're serviceable, and they do have a role in the movie, and they do try to give them actual character, which I appreciate. The rest of the characters, not so much. They do suffer a bit from the Jurassic World formula where they're like a kind of a caricature, but that aside, they don't take up like most of the time, but they do get a B plot line, which is kind of annoying, because the actual plot line it's a little video gamey with the We need to get DNA from the biggest dinosaurs, from sea, land, and sky. Another thing that I would give this movie is the actual dinosaurs. Again, they do feel alive and like actual animals. You know, the T-Rex, the Mosasaurus, the Spinosaurus. And I actually don't mind the Spinosaurus redesign. You can never emulate the aura of JP3 Spino. But I do like that they did something different. I'm saying all these good things. But, again, it commits the sin that was that plagued the Jurassic World movies. And that is adding hybrid or mutated dinosaurs, bro. Like, come on. Why do they want to make non-dinosaur dinosaurs so much in these dinosaur movies? I will never get that. I will never get that. This mutant ass looking dinosaur reject is painful in the way that I'm looking at the screen. I'm like, what the hell is that? And in the fact that, bro, you don't need it. It is unnecessary to do this. I don't know, man. I don't know why. I don't know if this is a checklist for Jurassic World movies that they need to have, a mutated dinosaur. But oh god, I'm so done with that. Thankfully, it is saved again by competent performances, competent characters, and compelling action sequences as well. I really like them. They're very engaging, and dinosaur behaviors are mostly acceptable as for as believable animals, excluding the friggin' I can't remember the name, the mutant T-Rex, whatever that is. Oh, and the other like raptor bird things, mutadons, I think. I don't know. It's so dumb. I hate that. But I actually believe this is better than Jurassic World. So I'm gonna put it in B tier. And that is gonna be the end of the tier list, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know in the comments which is your favorite Jurassic Park or Jurassic Park film in the whole franchise. I almost said there, Jurassic World, but it's Jurassic Park franchise. Which is your favorite? Which is your least favorite? What is your favorite dinosaur from this franchise as well? I might do a tier list of the actual dinosaurs that appear in the movies. Let me know if you want that. But yes, please like this video, helps a lot. Subscribe, it helps even more. And I will see you guys in the next video.